Hi everyone, welcome back to Listen Up with Simran and Isha, where we dive into real conversations about life, personal growth, and everything in between. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, so turn up the volume and listen up.
Hi everyone, welcome back to today's episode of Listen Up with Simran and Isha. We're going to talk all about manifestation today. It's a big word, and I think Isha will agree when I say that it's a very misunderstood word as well because it's so commonly used on TikTok and Instagram. But what really is manifesting your life, right, Isha?
Oh yes, I completely agree. बहुत ज़्यादा voodoo, magic, like it happens, it falls in your lap. There's so much words around this manifestation, but I think we both, I agree, you would agree, Simran, we both chose to do this episode today क्योंकि हमारी जिंदगी का ये बहुत बड़ा part है. Whatever visions we have for ourselves, we manifest that into our life, and somehow we've seen that in the past, and we thought maybe we can just share how we have done that and how we've used it in our life. No way we are saying कि हम इसके master बन चुके हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, but we are learning on the way, and you can basically say that we are trying to make the inner reality and transform it into an outer reality.
Yeah, I think like 2025 is also coming up. So I think now is the time to start. Like if you want a change next year, you need to start working on it right now. A lot of people do that they wait till, January mein start karenge. We'll, get there, we'll get excited. They're enjoying November and December. I feel like you can get a head start if you start right now. And it doesn't have to be big things. It can be small things like actually realizing how is it that I can manifest and create a different reality. Because like you said, like it starts from the inside first. If you want to change your outside, you need to change your inside first. Your inner intuition, your mindset, how you function. And that's what's going to help you manifest a new reality in your life.
Oh yes, definitely. But before we start and talk about the techniques जो हम दोनों ने अपनी life में use किए हैं, I would actually like to read a definition, or read out a definition for all our listeners today. Because I was reading about manifestation. This is one topic, Simran, जिसके बारे में मुझे पढ़ना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. तो neuroscience में इसकी एक definition है, which is very clear, and I have my little red book where I keep everything, handy. So the definition for manifestation, especially neuroscience, goes this way: that this is a technique which uses all your sensory organs as much as possible to embed an intention in your subconscious mind. And I love that.
Yes.
Like हमारे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड के अंदर हमें वो वाली चीज़ें जो हमें ज़िंदगी में चाहिए, चाहे वो आज हमारे पास नहीं है, उनको इम्बेड करना पड़ेगा ताकि हमारी सारी बॉडी अट्यून हो उस फ्रीक्वेंसी पे. अट्यून का मतलब ऐसे है, जैसे लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दिस सिमरन. इफ़ यूर इन अ क्राउडेड रूम, बहुत ज़्यादा शोर है किसी कमरे में, और मैं आपको सिमरन आवाज़ लगाऊं, यू स्टिल ट्राई टू फाइंड किसने आपको बुलाया, राइट? दैट्स योर सबकॉन्शियसली अट्यून्ड, because how attuned you are with your name. That's the subconscious. Similarly, every intention that you have, every wish, every vision, traveling to this country, whatever it could be, you have to be very subconsciously attuned to it, so that it develops into a reality for you. That's how it's supposed to work in science.
Yeah, I completely, like, for example, you're thinking of someone, you're just randomly thinking of a friend you've not spoken to for a long time, and suddenly in the next few days, that person reaches out, or you get some kind of information about them or some news about them, and you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about him like few days back, or thinking about her a few days back. How does that happen, right? That is also you aligning to a higher frequency, your inner intuition, which exists inside, which is telling you something. The question is, are you wanting to listen to it? So yeah, I completely agree with that. It's not some magic thing. Manifestation is actual science behind everything that's happening. So yeah.
Oh yes, and I think since we're talking a little bit about science, when I was researching about this, I came across this theory that there are two, not theory, like this is factual, there are two modes of our nervous system: the parasympathetic mode and the sympathetic mode. And when our body is in this form of fight or flight, so that is the sympathetic mode, and when our body is in this love, calmness, peace mode, that is the parasympathetic mode. So basically, we are aligned to be in the parasympathetic mode, and that is where whatever you manifest happens. Like manifestation happens in the parasympathetic mode. But अब क्या हो गया?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, chronically क्या हो गया हमारे साथ, हमारी जिंदगी में, कि हम लोग हमेशा fight or flight में ही रहते हैं. like pura time. We don't even go into that zone where the manifestation happens, and then we come back and we say कि यार I was doing the affirmations for so many months, पर तुम्हारा mode नहीं change किया था. Internally you were not at peace. Once you're in that zone, your nervous system is attuned. तब वो manifestation real भी होगी.
Yeah, it's like literally dropping everything
Yes.
that's going on in your life. Dropping everything, like forget everything. I did not say the word, but forget everything. And don't think of what's happening at work, what your mom said, what your dad said, what your boyfriend said, girl, I fought here, fought there. Forget everything and tap into this space which is yours. That's it. For 10 minutes, be with you and a new world which is inside you, you know? And I know it seems a little bit deep, but I think once we get into the techniques, that will help, you know, everyone else also understand, like, you know, what to do.
Yes. I think we should dive right into the techniques. What are some techniques, Simran, जो आपके लिए work किए हैं, आपने अपनी life में use किए हैं, and you've seen कि यार ये work किया है मेरे लिए?
My biggest one is visualization. Visualization, because human beings are creatures of visuals. When I say apple, do you think of A-P-P-L-E, apple, in your head, or do you look and think of like a red big apple in your head?
A red apple,
It's
yes.
obviously the second one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like most of us, when I say spoon, do you think S-P-O-N or do you think of a spoon in your head? You think of a spoon.
Yeah.
Because the thing that, yeah, exactly. Because that's how human beings are wired. We are visual creatures. And that's why it's so important that if you are trying to change your reality, you start visualizing a new reality. So visualization is one of my favorite things to go to. Have you ever tried it, Isha?
Oh yes, I think visualization मेरे लिए भी बहुत बड़ा है. Just to imagine the scenarios जो मेरे लिए होंगे. Now I've actually added more to it, like layers add कर लिए मैंने. How I'm feeling in that scenario. थोड़ी मैं अपनी feelings और emotions, how I am reacting to a particular scenario. I think over time मुझे ये समझ में आया कि I just don't have to visualize a scene. Although I do that, like एक scene मेरे लिए हो रहा है, play out हो रहा है. Let's say I want to travel to a city, so I'll most iconic place of that city, I'll just think of it in my mind. I am in that place. What am I, posting on Instagram about it? Because yeah, social media is a part of my life. So, or what am I eating in that place? Like ऐसी चीजें visualize करने, I think और वो मेरे लिए सच भी हुई हैं. One of the things that did happen for me, Paris. Yeah. I visualized my trip to Paris last year. And very early on in January, I did this vision board practice, and I added Paris to the vision board, and I visualized a very beautiful scene. And exactly same scene happened with me in Paris. So, and I don't even know how that trip fell into my lap. So, वो वाली चीज़ मेरे लिए कहीं जगह पे बहुत ज़्यादा real हुई है. I think when you travel to places, तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा तुम्हें easily दिखता भी है कि कितना similarly हो जाता है वो. Like जैसा तुमने visualize किया होता है वैसा पूरा हो जाता है. I know. I've had that experience in my life.
Same, even I've had that. Like, and I was telling you before we started recording about London and how I had it on my vision board. And I was supposed to go in July. I had everything planned, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna, it's finally coming true. Blah blah blah. But unfortunately, I couldn't go because of something else in my family. And somehow instead of July, I ended up going in November. And when I did go in November, it was one of the best times I had. And this year, for some reason, London has been a huge part of my life. And when I put it on my vision board and I started visualizing about it, I had no idea why, but I just knew that something is here,
Yeah.
And I don't even know why. And it just kind of all fell into place, which was pretty crazy, And sometimes you have to trust that the visual that your intuition is giving you is also something is there for you, and how real can you make it? Visualization is very simple. I like to do it with a guided visualization. So there are a lot of good ones, which of course we can share with our audience later on, which we will at the end of the episode, which help you like actually create this in your mind. So when you close your eyes, you can listen to it and they help you build this new reality for yourself, like visualize where you are, what you're feeling, how are you feeling, who are you with, these kind of things, which make it as real as possible. Because you need to believe it to the point where you actually think that that is your reality.
Yeah. Delusional faith.
Like
थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे delusional faith चाहिए होता है सिमरन. मतलब faith से थोड़ा ज़्यादा.
Is the solution. Yeah. I truly believe in that, even though it's stupid and trending and whatever, but I truly believe in it that you have to be a little delulu in life to actually build a new life. Because if you keep thinking that you're not good enough, you're not blessed, oh, it's not practical, it's, like we say that sometimes, oh, that's not practical, like that's not possible, that's stupid, how will that happen? This is your limiting fears telling you that, it's not going to happen for you. But minute you change that, you will see how quickly your life also changes, because it's literally a switch that you make in your mind that I don't care what, I'm going to believe whatever my mind and my inner heart is showing me, kind
Oh
of.
yes, यार बिल्कुल यही तो
Yeah.
बात है. और पता है मेरे लिए सिमरन विजुअलाइजेशन तो हमेशा वर्क की है, बट उसके अलावा मेरे लिए वर्ड्स की बहुत पावर रही है मेरी लाइफ में. बुक्स आर अ बिग पार्ट ऑफ माय लाइफ. आई लव रीडिंग, आई लव राइटिंग and journaling and scripting my thoughts out. You know, that helps me a lot. Even I do this one more thing. I make audio recordings of my dreams. So like
Wow. That's a nice one.
I just whatever vision I have for myself, मैं उसकी audio recording बना के, and sometimes when I'm in the zone, I'll just sit and like re-listen to my voice only. Telling myself, जैसे आपने बोला कि आप guided meditation करते हो visualization के लिए, मैं अपनी ही आवाज में लिखी हुई meditation करती हूँ एक तरह से, and that helps me visualize my scene better. And I write it down first.
Honestly,
I'll journal it. Yes.
Yeah. I've heard so much about this, and I know that this works. I want to try it. I haven't tried it yet, but it's a really cool thing, right? Because you're telling yourself your new story,
Yes.
kind of, when you're listening to the recording.
Exactly. और वो story and पता है when you journal ना, कई बार आप इतनी to the detail journal करते हो, आपको पता भी नहीं चलता कि आप क्या लिख रहे हो, और कई बार आपको पता भी नहीं होता आप ये क्यों लिख रहे हो. बट जब वो रियलिटी में कन्वर्ट होता है ना, देन इट मेक्स सेंस कि यार मेरे दिमाग में ये इतना डिटेल में सीन क्यों आया था. एंड आई थिंक दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस, जर्नलिंग. Also, it keeps you in check. Journaling, too, I think, is a very nice practice to do on a daily basis. Keeps you in check. Keeps you in check with yourself, your life. Or if you've never done this in your life, to everybody who is listening also, अगर अभी तक आपने कभी नहीं किया, I think December is one month where you can at least sit and reflect on the year gone by. Journaling is one practice you can definitely try this month. और वो आपको बहुत हेल्प करेगी अगला साल बेटर बनाने में.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, the same thing. Like for me, scripting, where I do it, journaling, yes, is I think almost every week I journal, especially when I don't feel good or whatever, I journal. But for me, scripting has been a huge part when I write a letter to my future self. And I do this every 6 months, not every year, every 6 months, where I write a letter saying that, I'm so grateful that I have XYZ, but I'm even more happier that now I have this, So I always kind of try and express gratitude first for what I have, because I feel sometimes when we try to manifest, we kind of go like, I want more money, I want this, I want fame, I want love, I want a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, house. And you want, but you're coming from this place of entitlement instead of like gratitude.
Okay.
So it's in a way being humble and being like, I'm grateful that I have this in my life. Can I please have more?
Yeah.
Or how much more have I had?
Exactly.
So I like writing this letter of this new life that I'm living in the next 6 months, and I always am like, oh, I'm so grateful. I've got this house, I've got this trip planned, I have this planned. And it's funny because whenever I read these letters after 6 months, I won't say everything happens, but I promise you at least like 50% of it happens.
Oh, yes.
So I realized that the more you do that, like the more it's like kind of like believing that that's your reality,
Yeah. And I think creating it. पता है, पर एक और चीज़ जैसे आपने मुझे बोला, not everything happens. फिर लोग पता है क्या बोलते हैं कि अगर लोगों ने प्रैक्टिस भी किया हो कि ईशा सब कुछ तो नहीं हो रहा है, जो हम लिख रहे हैं सब कुछ पूरा नहीं हो रहा है, या किसी के साथ मान लो 1 या 2 चीज़ें बहुत छोटी छोटी सी पूरी होती है, इससे इतने का क्या है. But my thought behind this is कि if you had not done any of it, तो वो 1 या 2 चीजें भी नहीं होती, like वो भी नहीं होता तुम्हारी लाइफ में. तो अगर वो 1-2 चीजें हो रही हैं, मतलब somewhere you are getting aligned to it. और when we set to do any of these practices, I think the first thing that जो हमें करनी चाहिए, and we can talk about other practices as well, but I think the first thing before we set to do these practices is this breathing टेक्निक और माइंडफुलनेस प्रैक्टिस. थोड़ा सा अपने आप को जोन में ले आओ, थोड़ा zen मोड में ले आओ, calm yourself down, bring yourself like breathe for a few minutes first and then start doing these practices. जो हमने पहले नर्वस सिस्टम की बात,
it takes time, right? Yeah, it takes time to get into that mode, right? And like don't come from this place कि मेरा हक है कि मेरे को ये चाहिए.
Exactly.
So, मैंने किया, मैंने एक्सरसाइज की, मैंने ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज की, मैंने एफर्मेशंस किए, मैंने विजुअलाइजेशन किया. Why don't I have that house yet? Life universe is not it's not its obligation to favor you. Understand that. Like it's not that कि मैंने ये सब किया अभी मेरे को क्यों नहीं मिल रहा. Life is not that
आपकी
simple.
डेडलाइन पर नहीं मिले, यूनिवर्स अपनी अपने
और
टाइम
आप-
से दे. हाँ, खुद डेडलाइंस मत ऐड करो अपनी
Exactly.
मैनिफेस्टेशन में. हाँ.
Yes, trust yourself. ना trust की timing जब align होएगी, then everything will fall into place.
Yes.
It's not that why is that's when you become negative about it and doubtful about it, where you start doubting it because it's not working. Understand it takes time for things to work, and when I say time, it takes at least 3 months to see changes in your life.
Oh,
Even
yes.
small changes in your life take 3 months, you know.
I know.
So you have to give yourself that time.
You know, Simran, एक और टेक्निक है जिसके बारे में there is so much trending Instagram पे, TikTok पे, affirmations, and I think मुझे affirmations की प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद रियलाइज हुआ है कि affirmations एक्चुअली वर्क कैसे करती हैं. मैंने अपने केस में ये रियलाइज किया है कि मुझे पहले ये देखना पड़ेगा कि मेरे पुराने ट्रिगर्स क्या हैं. क्योंकि अगर मैं मिरर में देख के आई एम ब्यूटिफुल, आई एम लव्ड, ये रोज कर रही हूँ, आई डोंट फील इट, एंड इवेंचुअली 10 दिन बाद, 15 दिन बाद भी, 1 महीने बाद भी मुझे कुछ चेंज नहीं फील हो रहा है. तो पहले मुझे ये देखना पड़ेगा कि मेरे ट्रिगर्स क्या हैं. मैंने एक्चुअली अपने आप को इनसिक्योर किन किन पॉइंट्स पर लाइफ में फील किया है, या फिर मुझे किसी ने कोई लाइन बोली है जो मेरे लिए छोटे होते वो मेरा बिलीफ बन गया था. उस बिलीफ को रीफ्रेम करके मुझे अपनी आज की एफर्मेशन बनाना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई हैव रियलाइज्ड आफ्टर डूइंग एफर्मेशंस फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम रॉन्ग.
I absolutely love this because you summarized it literally how it's supposed to be. Affirmations are not, stop doing generic affirmations because those do not work. I am beautiful, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. You don't believe any of it. You're just repeating it like a parrot, but you don't believe it. And that's why you're like, oh, I'm doing these things, it's not working. It's not working because you, A, have no faith in it, B, it's so common and generic. So personalize those affirmations. And like you said, triggers. What are your past triggers, you know? Rewrite those limiting beliefs. Rewrite them. You don't say, oh, if you think that, like you, for example, you were sharing with me about, you know, the fact that when you were growing up, you were darker in complexion. A lot of people maybe feel less about that. So instead of saying, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, you know, saying these things, you worked on that first. You looked at that trigger, right? I'd love to hear your story, actually, by sharing it.
Yeah, you know, like, so that is like one example I can use. So that is one of my, that growing up became one of my insecurities.
Yeah.
But उसके around की affirmation मुझे change करनी पड़ी. If I just look in the mirror and say I'm beautiful, I won't believe it. Simple as that. मैं उस चीज को believe नहीं करूँगी. But if I look in the mirror and tell myself, Isha, despite everybody, whatever everybody says about you, you are beautiful with your brown skin. Your brown skin is glowing. You know, like affirmations that are personalized for me. जो मेरा ट्रिगर पॉइंट है उसकी सबकॉन्शियस में जाकर इंटेंशन को बदलना, जो हमने स्टार्टिंग में बात की थी, जो डेफिनेशन है, बेसिकली वो ट्रिगर मैंने चाइल्डहुड से बिलीव कर लिया था, और अब मैं जाकर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में उस इंटेंशन को दोबारा चेंज कर रही हूँ कि नहीं, ईशा तो गलत बिलीव कर रही थी. That is how I make my affirmations now on every aspect of life, be it love life, be it anything. जिसके लिए भी I'm affirming, जिसके लिए भी I'm practicing affirmations. And people do this, कि find your partner in 5 days, find your partner in 20 days. ठीक है.
Yeah.
They don't tell the magic behind this. The magic behind this कि आपने personalize करके करो तो 5 घंटे में भी मिल जाएगा, but personalize करके करो. Like that is the magic behind this.
Very, very true. And I think like so many things come up for you because, for example, for me, like I always used to think I'm a very secure person, and I've always thought I'm a secure person. But recently some things in my life have come and I'm like, am I really secure? Like, or am I seeking validation from other people for my security? When other people call me beautiful or smart or say that they love me, is it that that's when I feel beautiful and smart and loved? Or is it that I truly believe that I am these things, you know? And I have been working on that myself. So all my affirmations have been that I believe this about myself. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care there could be 100 more smarter, more beautiful people. I will still be happy with myself, you know? And I have really tried to like be my own validation. So like you said, affirmations have to be personalized as per what you want to change about your life. you know. And for me, saying them in the mirror helps a lot. When I look at myself in the morning, every day in the mirror, I talk to myself, and I know it sounds weird, but I do talk to myself.
It does.
I think
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's how you should start your day, because when you talk to yourself, you feel good about yourself. You walk out of the house feeling, like more of yourself.
You know, Simran, हमने इतने सारे affirmations, visualization, scripting, journaling की बात की, बहुत सारी techniques हम discuss कर रहे हैं आज manifestation की. But I think one thing मैं reiterate करना चाहूँगी, and one thing I want to say, or like I cannot repeat it enough. हमारी physiology तब better perform करती है जब हम positive emotions feel कर रहे होते हैं. और जब हम पॉजिटिव इमोशंस फील कर रहे होते हैं तब हम मैनिफेस्ट बेटर कर पाते हैं. सो व्हेनेवर यू आर इन दैट जोन, व्हेन यू आर फीलिंग लव्ड, व्हेन यू हैव ग्रैटिट्यूड, व्हेन यू नो जब आप कहीं पर होकर आते हो, योर हार्ट इज फिल्ड विद ग्रैटिट्यूड, उन मोमेंट्स में जब आप मैनिफेस्ट करते हो ना, वो बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह से और बहुत जल्दी रियलिटी में कन्वर्ट होते हैं. बिकॉज उस टाइम पर आप अपने उस पैरासिम्पैथेटिक मोड में अट्यून्ड होते हो और वो एक्चुअली आपके लिए आपके फेवर में काम करता है. वो रियलिटी बहुत जल्दी बहुत क्लोजली बनती है. तभी आप कहते हो कुछ चीज़ें मैंने बोली वो सच हो गई, कुछ नहीं हुई. आप ये रियलाइज करो आपने कब विश की थी वो चीज़ें, आपको समझ में आएगा आपके लिए मैनिफेस्टेशन कैसे वर्क करती है.
एब्सोल्युटली. एंड एज ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हम लोग ऐसे हमेशा हमें नेगेटिव पहले दिखेगा पॉजिटिव से पहले. मतलब जो काम नहीं किया वो याद रहेगा, जो काम किया वो कभी याद नहीं रहेगा. तो इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेंट कि ये पॉइंट पे यू लर्न टू सरेंडर. You've done your visualizations, you've done your scripting, you've done affirmations, you're doing all this work, you're putting in the work, you're working on yourself, working on your outer reality, inner reality. Now, surrender. Trust that life will bring you what it has to bring. Trust the process, trust everything that's happening around you. Because that's really, really a huge part of making things happen and manifesting a new reality. Surrender to the universe's timing. Don't set deadlines, don't demand things, don't command things. Surrender to when the divine timing has to come to you.
Oh, yes. Wow, I cannot have said it better. हम जब अपनी मटेरियल थिंग्स विजुअलाइज करते हैं ना, या मटेरियल चीज़ें मांगते हैं ज़िंदगी में, तो सरेंडर का मतलब ये है कि अगर वो मटेरियल चीज़ें मुझसे दूर भी हो गई, मेरी लाइफ में वो मटेरियल चीज़ें नहीं भी रही सिमरन, फिर भी डू आई लव माई सेल्फ, डू आई लव दैट पर्सन, do I still believe in that person? That is like complete and ultimate surrender जो हमें सीखना पड़ेगा. And that's how we'll actually get everything we want from life. अगर हम अपनी पर्सनैलिटी को, अपनी आइडेंटिटी को उन मटीरियल चीज़ों से, उन विजन्स, उन चीज़ों से जोड़ेंगे नहीं कि मैं खुश सिर्फ तब होंगी, या I'll feel loved only when I have those things. पर despite that मैं खुश हूँ, I'm in that state, और अपने आप वो चीज़ें आती जा रही हैं.
I absolutely agree. I think we've spoken about all these beautiful concepts today. Everyone who is listening to it, I hope you listen to it, apply it for yourself, try it for yourself. If you want some help, we have actually created a free guide for you for manifestation as well. So just send us a DM on Instagram saying manifest, and we will send it to you. So आप खुद से try कर सकते हैं. You can try it by yourself and see if it works for you or not, And if it's new, you're just getting started, then let us know what you think about it. We're always here to help you with our podcast and our episodes.
Oh yes,
right?
And I think vision board, Simran, हम दोनों की life का बहुत बड़ा part है. If you are interested, everybody who is listening to want us to make an episode on vision board, like different also, we can make a whole new episode about it, because the year end is coming and everybody wants to visualize their future. So I think that'll be good if people want to listen to that, because we've shared some of it here, and I think that'll also be a good episode. But thank you so much everybody for listening in on this episode. Hope you add manifestation and you use these techniques in your life. Thank you so much. Keep listening.
Yes, keep listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Listen Up with Simran and Isha. Hope you enjoyed the conversation, and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay tuned and listen up.